NASDA's overall goal for U.S. food production is certainly to ensure that we have a stable food supply chain, but also a resilient food supply chain. We've all learned a lot after navigating through 2020 about how our food supply chain works here in the United States. And so our goal is to make sure that we have the adequate resources available, both at our State Departments, but also with our friends at USDA, so we can be co-regulators, but help farmers and ranchers ensure a consistent and resilient food supply for all of those here in the United States, but certainly for those across the world that we help to feed as well. Supply chain policy has been something that we've all discussed a lot, and specifically in the meat processing sector. We saw certainly how there were some challenges from the meat processing side in 2020, and we've had lots of discussion at all levels about how we can resolve that and improve that food supply chain. Here in Oklahoma specifically, we directed millions of CARES dollars to our small and medium-sized processors. We're wanting to make sure that we're kind of expanding that supply chain, expanding the options for our local producers. And part of that as well is making sure that we have inspection available. We are co-regulators with USDA. And so if that's looking at the different programs that are available, if we've got state inspectors or USDA inspectors. And so NASDA is really focused on making sure that we've got adequate funding to our state departments of ag, with really that ultimate goal of expanding those small, medium-sized processors to kind of help fill that gap and really make sure that that meat processing supply chain is stable no matter what dynamics may be happening. There's certainly lots of things that we can do to continue to improve the food supply chain here in the United States. A couple of things that NASDA is really focused on. One is food waste. We know that that's a big challenge. We know there's a lot of things that we can do to address that. The other is working with folks in all sectors. We know we've got the data that shows when our state departments of agriculture are working with those local food banks, with those local food pantries, we're helping to really address some of the issues with food deserts, making sure that we've got an affordable, healthy food supply chain for all of those who need access to it. And so as we look broadly at what we can do collaboratively, we see that it takes public-private partnerships, and also ensuring that USDA is directing resources so that we can also have procurement of local foods. That certainly helps build an opportunity for our local producers. But then as we look at distribution and where all of that food is headed, when we've got some of those block grant opportunities at the State Department level and we're partnering with our food banks, we've seen real success here across the United States.